Today's Toy Spot, we're having a look at the Mattel Max Steel Unlock Your Hero. A new line of Max Steel figures come to us from the folks over at Mattel. This is recommended for ages 4 and up. And I kind of like this packaging. For starters, we have Max Steel featured on the front there. But his open chest area reveals the inner box and shows the inside robot or suit of the actual figure, which I think is a nice touch. Down below, Max Steel there as well. On the back of the package, Max Steel, go turbo. Max must transform into turbo mode to defeat the monsters of Makino's invasion. Born with pure turbo energy running through his body, Max must partner with his biomechanical life form, Nembaro, Axe Steel, X377, aka Steel, to help stabilize his energy and protect Earth. Wielding the turbo sword with Steel as his powerful conduit, Max will harness all his turbo energy and become the ultimate superhero. You can see down below the several different modes: strength mode, flight mode, and speed mode. And then an additional read-up for Steel, an Ultralink hailing from the planet Makino, and Borrow X Steel, X377, or Steel for short, suffered a violent betrayal that left him deactivated for 16 years. Years later, Steel could never have guessed his newest mission would have him ultra-linked with teenager Max McGrath. Utilizing Max's unlimited turbo energy, Steel must work with Max to become Earth's greatest superhero and finish the mission he started 16 years ago, stopping Makino's invasion. You can visit us over at Max Steel at www.maxsteel.com, play games, watch videos, and certainly as well, you can head over to Mattel over at www.mattel.com. Spot's going to take a break and get this opened up. When we come back, we're going to get a better look at Max Steel. There's more heading your way, guys. Don't go anywhere. Stay tuned. Before actually Spot opens this up, I want to show you guys the inner packaging here, because you open this up, this section right here, you take this piece of cardboard out. We don't actually need that. And you can pull out a secondary Max Steel packaging. And there shows Max Steel, the Max Steel logo down below on the back. Even more read-up. Subject, Max Steel, age 16, half human, half Taconian alien life form. Civilian name, Maxwell McGrath. Occupation, one half of a superhero Max Steel, an N-Tech consultant. Abilities, generates turbo energy, harnesses power of Steel to transform into various turbo modes and also power his turbo gear. Difficulties, spontaneous during missions, navigating life as a 16-year-old humanoid, dealing with techno-organic life form Steel 24/7. N-Tech classified file. Subject, Nembaro, Axe Steel, X377, Ultralink Omega class, bioparasitic, subjugation warrior. That's a word Spot never uses. Subjugation warrior. Wow. Earth name Steel, age 16 in Earth years. Occupation, one half of superhero Max Steel, an N-Tech consultant and strategist engineer. Abilities, weaponizes organic material, harnesses turbo energy, and acts as a conduit for N-Tech turbocharged gear. Keep Max McGrath focused and stabilized during missions. Difficulties, suffering from loss of internal memory and weaponizing abilities from 16-year deactivation, understanding human life on Earth, weakness for late-night TV. Attaboy. Spot's now going to take a break again. We're going to get this finally out of packaging, and when we come back, more Max Steel heading your way. Don't go anywhere. There's more heading your way. So, out of packaging, Max Steel does come with a couple of different accessories. A really neat, both pieces I'll show you in a second, but both pieces appear to be in a translucent plastic. It's pliable enough too, so you don't have to worry that this is going to be something that's going to break over time. It's a nice pliable, rubbery plastic. But I love the fact that it's translucent. You can see as my hand passes behind it there. Equally so, besides the sword, you also get his little comrade here, Steel. Or the long-term Nembaro Axe Steel X377. I think steel is much easier to say. Also, both pieces are translucent in blue plastic. Nice pliable rubber. Really nice paint on it too. The white definitely pops on the background or the surface of the blue plastic here. In this form, steel actually doesn't have any sort of articulation or anything like that. It's just a staction piece. But there is a clip on the back. You can see right there, like a little inverted triangular port area there. You can take steel, and there's a little peg point right there on his sword. Line the two up, and you're going to put the two together, like so. Snap that into place, and you've got yourself an upgraded sword, which is really neat looking. It's also tall. It's about the same height almost as Max Steel. You can take it and fit it into Max Steel's hand. And it's a very, very big piece. In fact, I think I actually have to put it into this hand here. One hand is a little more closed than the other. It's actually a considerably large handle. I'm surprised they actually gave it as big of a handle as they did. There we go. There you go. And here Max Steel with his extremely long sword there. We take the sword out of his hand. I'll just put that to the side. And have a looking further at Max Steel. I like the details that they put on him. He's a really neat design. On the back, more of that translucent plastic. There is a compartment right there where you can change out his batteries. Luckily, the folks over at Mattel have included batteries, so you don't have to change those right away. The majority of his coloring is kind of a matte black, a nice shiny white, and more of that blue accenting around the arm area there, around in the shoulder area, and more importantly, around in the head area. And getting a closer look at his head, this again must be more of a mechanized version of him, where he is, amped up kind of thing. But really neat looking design on him. He definitely has that more futuristic look design to him, and carries that same steel logo kind of crest on his chest there as well. Now in his articulation, he actually has quite a bit, to say the least. He does have a ball joint in the head. It actually looks like it probably, it probably is more so a standard swivel, likely due to the fact that the light up feature can't be interrupted by putting something like a ball joint in there. Shoulders are on a very nice pin and socket joint. They rotate all the way around, they rotate out. Has a swivel in the bicep area. Single bend in the elbow. He has no articulation or anything like that in the wrist. He has, however, though, a swivel waist. Legs go forward and back via a hinge socket joint, very similar to what you would see with like the DC Universe figures. He has a single hinge leg and a single hinge in the foot. So collectively, you can really get him in a lot of interesting poses. I kind of wish he had articulation in the toe, so that you kind of have him like lunging forward, kind of in a really neat, dramatic pose. Kind of put his sword in his hand. I think that'd be a nice touch as well. Now, above and beyond a really neat looking design, above and beyond a super articulated figure, you've also got light up features where Spot actually accidentally pressed it during the course of this review. But you press his chest area here, and this whole area, his chest section here, his visor area here, because this is all translucent plastic, you can see how this lights up the whole back neck section and therefore lights up his visor. It's a very, very bright light. Kind of wish it had held on, like if you could have just pressed it and it was stayed on for a couple seconds. Instead, you actually have to hold it to have him currently lighting up. Also, too, you can take the sword and again put it in his hand. You can kind of, if you had it in front of his chest, it would kind of give it the look that the sword is lighting up, which is kind of neat as well. There is no section on the back or anything that he could display his sword. You could peg that into place or anything along those lines. But he's really a fun-looking figure. And if memory serves me right, Max Steel is making a comeback. I think Max Steel was around when I was younger. There was the taller Max Steel figures. These are a lot more simplified, scaled down certainly to what we had gotten before. But I have to say, though, a lot cooler. definitely a lot cooler. It definitely has more of a Tron look too, which I think a lot of people probably seeing it is you're immediately thinking it, looking at it, is like, yeah, it has like a really neat Tron design to it. Max Steel, really fun. It's fun to see that old toy lines are coming back and making it big in the toy aisles again. And it's kind of fun as an adult to go down toy aisles and see stuff that I used to grow up with making a comeback. So that's kind of neat. As Spots mentioned, these are available in local toy stores, so if you go down your local toy store aisles now, you should be able to find a lot of Max Steel product hitting the shelves. Today's Toy Spot, we were having a look at the new Mattel Max Steel. Stay tuned, guys. Spot's going to have more videos heading your way. As always, thanks for watching. I'll see you guys next time.